customer retention is the most, it is so important right now. Knowing your customer is the price of admission, right?
Yes.
If you're in business, knowing your customer, knowing what your customer likes, loves, what they care about, where they see value, that's the price of admission in being business. But in our current times, you cannot be too relentless about retaining your customer. And that's the game we're in right now, is if you can retain your customer and you can show them the maximum amount of value, you're not just going to have them right now, but as this market turns and it gets healthier, they are going to be in line to optimize their spending with you. Whether you're in a B2B industry or a B2C industry, it's all the same. And you've got to have a relentless focus on your customer.
Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the best time to be an optimist is when everybody's pessimistic. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. The best defense is really good offense. And during a challenging economy like we're in, and I think about to get more in, it's an extraordinary time to make some big moves, but you got to make the right moves. It's a game of chess.
So let's say somebody is an entrepreneur right now. And, I live in a pretty affluent area. Yeah. And I go cruising through the Biltmore shopping center, and shops are closing left and right. And their customers are the right customers. They have money, but they're not spending for some reason. And my friend's men's store closed and all this, and he had great product, great staff. He knew his stuff. It was good for me because everything went 70% on sale. So I bought everything I could from him.
I like your jacket.
This came from the store across the street from him, or across the aisle from him. But the best time to go shopping was everything's on sale.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not good for the retailer.
No.
Right? You know what I mean? But if you're the optimist, you're going there, oh, everything's bad. This is good because I'm going to. Anyways, my friend, he had the best Italian clothes, best Italian suits, 70% off, man. My teeth went soft.
Wow.
I racked up my credit card going, because what happens after this, the next product, because there was too much inventory. After COVID, they just they built too much inventory. And then the economy got worse and they couldn't sell it. But for the customer, it was great. So it's being a pessimist and an optimist at the same time. So, but if you're a small business person and you're feeling it right now, something is wrong. And what's interesting too, people can't find staff.
It's the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge. Supply chain is something everyone's been talking about, but high quality, high capacity, capable talent is what I find in all of my businesses to be the number one opportunity and the number one problem. It's a big problem. And, I think it's only going to get worse. It doesn't seem that we have a society that is as motivated to work as we have seen, quite candidly, globally in the past.
So what does a small entrepreneur do today to batten down the hatches and get ready for the ride?
Well, it's all about efficiency. I think you have to figure out how you can protect margins. As a story you just told about the clother and the challenges that they had, they ultimately had to give up margin in order to move their products. So I think the greatest thing you can do in a time like this is make sure you have the right people on your team, but make sure that you are absolutely over delivering. And if you're building a business, engineer a business that you're going to outperform when it comes to the value proposition you bring to the marketplace, greater than anyone else. Robert, as you said, now is going to be a tough time, but it's also going to be an opportunistic time. And you hear the wealthy people talk a lot about, I want to keep my powder dry for when the market goes south. And that's because they understand that business operators and consumers are not going to act sanely in a lot of cases. So, I would say, first and foremost, just delivering an efficiently operating business. You want to have the best people, but you want to have a lean team. You want to have the best products, and you want to do your very best to protect your margin.
So let me explain. This guy is at the best shopping center.
Yeah.
He had the best customers cruising through there. He had the best products, and he still went down. He had 4 stores. He's now back to 1. So, you know what I mean? And the guy was good. His staff was knowledgeable, fantastic, great location. Everything you think is like this is from Ralph Lauren, and they were right next door to each other. So you got that. So I kept looking at it going, this doesn't make any sense. So I think the customer dried up on him. And that's the only way I can look at it.
Well,
So,
I think the customer dried up on him, and I think you'd be the first to agree that the economy, the global economy,
yes.
has changed greatly in the past 24 months. I mean, it's been an insane cycle, and people haven't known what to do. Do you buy a lot of inventory because you feel like there's a lot of pent up demand that hasn't been served, or do you drive efficiency? Do you operate leanly? It's hard to predict what a retail customer is going to do. And one of my favorite men's clothing stores is in Scottsdale. There, it's called the Clothery, and
yes, this store's right next to the Clothery.
Yeah, and I've bought it. Yeah, I bought a ton of stuff there. Yeah. I bought a ton of stuff, and I can tell you, I know some billionaires personally that shop at that store, and I can tell you there's a few things going on, and one of them may be that they're not wearing as many suits as they had in the past. But there's a lot of dynamics. I mean, you have to have your antenna on consumer behavior right now. If you're in the consumer product goods business, has got to be high, and you've got to really know your marketplace.
Okay, this is what I say to small business guys. When the economy starts to crunch in, people panic. And I said, at that point, you better step up your promotion. And you spend on promotion. And the guys that stop spending on promotion went out of business. Said, well, we can't afford to. I said, you also cannot not afford to. But they don't promote. So Rich Dad, we stepped up promotion huge. And our sales are through the roof. I was on Neil Cavuto 4 times in the last 4 weeks. We're stepping promotion up heavy. Every time on Neil Cavuto, our sales go through the roof. Yeah. But when I told this one clothing, he had the best product for men I've ever seen, but he wouldn't spend on promotion. So I went, silly,
Yeah, I've seen that in a lot of businesses. I can tell you some of the product. I'm in an outdoor sporting good industry in one of the companies I own, and we're promoting now and marketing now more than we've ever before.
Amen. Everybody listen to that.
And we're spending the money. We're doing it smart. We're leveraging technology. We're using digital mediums, digital platforms, and I tell you, AI has been building up for a long time, but it is becoming more practical and usable. And I couldn't think of a better time for that level of efficiency from a technological perspective to be introduced into our marketplace. So we are ferociously marketing right now, and we are becoming even more of a marketing and sales organization than we've ever had before. We need the customer to see us first and last.
Right. You need to make the offer out there, what's available. And I know the people that are cutting back because the customer's cutting back. That's suicide at that one. Cut your throat at that point, So
I think there's been a level of arrogance. I don't understand it, but I've seen a lot of companies that they've had some level of entitlement that's happened through the whole coronavirus and through this whole process, that they think the customers they're going to stack them high and watch customers buy, and that's just not how the economy is today. You got to show value, and you got to get in front of your customer, and that's the most important thing you could do.
Yeah, the sad thing was this guy was in the middle of all these men's stores. Like I said, got this jacket from Polo, Clotheries right next door to them. So he was surrounded by men's stores, but he stopped promoting. It's interesting, And he had some of made my teeth soft looking at some of the fine Italian clothes he had, 70% off. I would have advertised that. But
the auto industry is a good model to follow when it comes to marketing and promotion. They have a supply and demand issue. There's much more demand than there is supply. But even during that, they've continued to advertise and market, and they do not stop because they do not want to get their brand away from your mind. And so marketing and sales are a brilliant thing, and it's a global discipline, right? No matter if you're doing business, no matter where you're doing business, it's a global discipline. You just got to be committed to it, and you can't give up on it. But you have to spend your dollars wisely, and that's most important.
And what Vic is selling, most small business people cut back. They stop spending when they should be spending on marketing and advertising because sales equals income. But they
get scared. They get scared.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it valuable, please watch this next one. I think you're going to love it.